It's not in the cards for you. I'm pretty good at insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
I'd like to walk into a church, but it's like walking into a venereal disease. Y'all some slutty-ass hypocritical fornicators. Religion sucks. It's like it tells you one thing and then it does the other thing. The only people I really trust in this world are agnostics and atheists. It's just crazy. I mean, you'll switch it up. Oh, you got to try this mosque. Oh, you got to try this Buddhist Sangha. Oh, you got to try this Jewish temple. But it's still like walking into a fucking STD every time I go around, you fucking hypocrites.
What does it take for Zoomer chicks to flock to Generation X guys and baby boomer dudes? Because it usually seems to boil down to crystal meth or, oh, he's got a nice car, he's got a nice house, sort of thing. Of course, there's Bobby Rio, and he talks about the age gap relationship thing a lot because he's got a younger fiance, and he's about my age. He's 40, and he's dating some hot 20-something, and they're getting married. So he talks about this as not being an issue of money. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's about opportunity and what he's saying, comprehension and all that. But at the same time, you don't see a lot of hot chicks hanging out with dudes that live at homeless shelters unless crystal meth, or you don't see them hanging around towns unless like the guy's got a nice car, which, you know, is easy enough to do with a lease. You can get a nice car. Me, I don't really want to pollute the air. You know what I mean? Like if I could just go someplace and never pollute, that would be awesome. And there would be no pollution whatsoever. But you know how we liberals are. It's like you'll be like, oh, that's really cool. You don't want to pollute. I love that. I love that about you. Okay, but still, I'm looking for that phone number. What kind of ecumenical truth is gonna bring me to belief in God, my atheist ass, to your faith, when you Christians are slutty as fucking hell out here? Like, you'll walk around 2 to 6 at a time to some bloke that's carrying a cross, even though icons and flashing of greed and money is against your religion. What kind of epistemological truth are you trying to drive at that I will accept faith on my atheism that you're all a bunch of hoes? Yeah, I'll take your phone number, only if we meet offline. I don't trust your ass anywhere. I'm a skeptic. You'll get me onto Zoom chat or something like, oh yeah, we should hook up sometime, and then I'll show up and you'll ghost my ass. You'll give me a phone number, but then you'll have my phone number and you'll dox me. No, I don't trust the religious as far as I could throw them, and you atheists are dumb fuck assholes too. Gen Z, you wear your socialism on your sleeves and then go run off with the guy with the fucking credit card. Please fucking change. Same age only daters are bigots. There's no reason for me to hang out with you. Go to around, oh, I only date dudes my age. Oh, you should only date people your own age. You're a bunch of fucking prejudiced bigots, no better than the fucking KKK. Why the fuck would I date you? Oh, you date black guys, but you won't date guys older than you. Oh, because I'm 40, you're going to be a little bigot bitch about some shit. Maybe you should just go fuck off. Sure, I'll take your phone number if you want to prove that you're capable of love. But I'm not going to do it over the goddamn internet because I don't trust you. Do you understand this? Why can't you get it through your thick head that you can't trust bigots and money worshippers and assholes any more than you could trust hypocrites that wear their socialism on their sleeve and they go slip off to only date dudes their age when socialism is straight up against bigotry. The left wing, we're for bigotry? Really? Oh, it's just a guy with his Visa or MasterCard. The struggle is real, you fucking bitch retards. You won't date me? You won't date me? Even though I'm the strongest voice for everything on the left around here? You won't date my fucking ass? Well, fuck you, bitches! I don't care then! But, yeah, I will. I'll take your phone number if you want to change your mind. Find me in public. I don't do the whole online thing, because I don't trust you! Gee, why should I trust you over the internet? Nope, can't think of anything. Docs, you'll just docs.
And if you're an age gapper, the Bistango, Volstead Act, Tempest Seller seems to be that thing. And the guys that get laid all the time just walk up like, hey, I need a clit. So, I mean, if you want to do that, you can do that. The rappers do it, like the black guys and then the guys into the hip-hop. They just walk up and say, hey, yeah, I need a clit. And then they're like, it is what it is. It's actually kind of funny. Because they do get laid all the time doing real sexist-y, acerbic things. And it's science, you know what I mean? Like, if it works, it works. I'm not going to fault them for that. If it works, it works. Or you can go up and you can say something like, you look really nice today. I don't know, be a gentleman about it. You might laugh at that. But here's my problem with Gen Z. It's like, whenever I meet Gen Z, it's never about anybody other than Gen Z. The millennials were all about it. They're all about like themselves. And there's like this whole reputation of Gen Z being very generous, which conflicts with the studies on empathy rates dropping since the year 2000. So it doesn't matter. I mean, there's a whole bunch of age gappers in this town. Guys that are like older than I am dating chicks that are that age. I kind of want to know what they do to get their attention because, they've been on the planet longer, so they're wiser. I know where they hang out at. It would be a matter of me like going to the Volstead or going to Bistango and sort of chilling back and watching how the Gen Xers are hooking up with the Gen Zers. Because I see that all the fucking time. They're gorgeous women. You can't lie about that. And the guys probably have some sort of sophistication. They look like blue-collar workers, you know what I mean? Like guys, like normal, average guys. And that's great. I'm not at all unhappy about that. That's fantastic that they can hook up and, get some pussy from some hot Gen Z chick, or maybe even fall in love. I don't know. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that they do that. But, a lot of times it boils down to money. Oh, he's got a nice car, credit card, and house. And then there's Gen Z touting its socialism on its sleeve. So what is it that attracts two chicks to some guy? Just he's got some marijuana and you go wherever he goes? Yeah, beta male wouldn't be asking for advice. Maybe you should grow the fuck up, little boy. I hate live chats. You know what I mean? They're just running their fucking retard mouths at me like, silly boy. Yeah, like going vegan wouldn't be good for the environment. You're a fucking retard. Okay, whatever. I guess I'm a soy boy, even though I eat meat. Oh, now I'm a meat mouth. See, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm an omnivore. Why my dietary... I'm pretty sure that my dietary requirements don't have anything to do with the hell I'm talking about. You're fucking retarded. So, I mean, as soon as I have an ID, which will cost me like $5, I'll probably go to the Volstead Act or go to the Tempest Sellers or go to Bistango and get a drink, look around, see what the guys that are like 55 years old are doing to hook up with the 21-year-old chicks and emulate their behavior. Otherwise, I'd have to hang out with the rappers and go, I need some fucking pussy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like Mr. Wigger or Mr. Dudebo. I mean, left-wingers and right-wingers pretty much hate the whole Dudebo Wigger culture. That's one thing that I've found is like the whole like these whole liberals don't know how to treat women with respect, or the whole conservatives don't know how to treat women with respect that I hear back and forth. It just sounds like men don't know how to treat women with respect to me. But I mean, if you're getting it by saying, hey, I want some pussy, well, then I'm going to say, hey, I want some pussy. If I'm in the crowd where you're hooking up with Gen Z chicks, and I'm there listening to see what you do, and you say, oh, I want a clit, or I want some pussy, I'm the next boy on the line going to say, hey, I want some clit too, I want some pussy. Or if you're having a gentlemanly, decent conversation with one or two of them, I'm going to do that. I'm going to emulate my neighbors and do exactly what they do to get laid. It's just the way it is. You have to do that. It's called social mirroring. You have to do what plays to the crowd. And you can't just let one guy take all the women. I don't want all the women. I just want one girl, you know what I mean? If it's a one-night thing, hopefully it'll grow into a romantic relationship. If not, you know, whatever. I would rather it become a romantic relationship. I would rather be around people that are mature-minded. I think that 21-year-olds are mature-minded half the time. They're adults. I'm not going to go into the whole thing how the brain hasn't fully developed until it's 24, because that's all pseudoscience bullshit. What do you want? You want babies, right? 2/3 of women that age want babies, and 2/3 of women probably hook up in public. 2/3 of people probably hook up IRL in public in order to find a mate rather than online. Because how do you trust somebody online? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you fully trust somebody? Even if you have a Zoom chat with them and give them your phone number, they could just be there to screw you over and dox your phone number. You shouldn't trust anybody online. If you meet them offline, the chances of them being real are increased. That's what I mean. You can't just trust people online. Walter Fate apparently emailed me, and he wants my phone number. Yeah, like my phone number hasn't been doxed by Kiwi Farms before. You're not anything unless Kiwi Farms makes fun of you. You know what I mean? If someone's making fun of you. But it's that thing. It's that thing with we liberals where it's like, you know, I want to convert to possibly veganism. And they'll be like, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. You care about animals. I do care about animals. I also care about my health, being a 42-year-old and being overweight. I don't really want to hook up with a hooker. See, that's the thing about Christians. I'll go hang out with Christians. And I'll be like, where can I meet a chick? You'll say, oh, you should go out to Sprague and get a hooker. Well, meanwhile, you're going down to the bar that you're not telling me about. Lies are against your religion in the book of Ephesians. But you're asking me, as an atheist, do you trust Christians? I don't think so. Not anymore that I could throw them. It's all money, power, and greed winning over the women, when money, power, and greed is against religion. All religions are against money, power, and greed winning over the women. So, like, a lot of times you see, like, the cars winning over the women, or the credit cards, or the bank account. But, you know, then you meet the ones that are like the bus crowd, and then they're just going with the guys that are their religion. But then you're going to the people that don't reveal any information to anybody other than their own close friends. You know what I mean? You know what that sounds like? That sounds like deceit, which is against your religion. Anywhere you're going to go with it, any asshole thing you're going to do, you should be kicked out of town for that. Being an asshole should get you exiled. Holding people's feet to the fire is not being an asshole. It's just putting facts out there. If you don't want to date me, that's fine. But at the same time, I'm not here to be alone in life, sweethearts. I'm not here to be alone in life. This is your problem. If you bring it down to money, power, and greed, you're not a socialist. Therefore, I don't judge your socialist, communist, or anarchist bitch ass to be anything worthy of my time, because you're a hypocrite. But I'll take your phone number offline. Online, I don't trust you. You'll dox my phone number. You'll dox my information. You'll put me out there where I don't want to be, on an uncomfortable situation, in atheists amongst Christians, where you Christians do nothing but lie with your Muslim and Buddhist friends about information I need. You tell me the vaguest information and you expect me to trust you. Bullshit! It's not going to happen. If you're not inviting me to the party, and it's clearly daylight and I've eaten garlic live, it probably comes down to I got a jar of marijuana, so therefore I get 2 chicks with you. Oh, they're your age. Yeah, okay, whatever, bigot. Bigot, they're going to Bistango to age gap. Bigot, they're going to Volstead, act the generation age gap. Bigot, they're going to Tempest Cellar to age gap. These are all wonderful people that just prefer younger women and older men. Oh, and I found out what that is. There's the old school term, the spring-autumn romance, but a younger woman into older guys is called a panther. So that's a cool name too. You know, you're a younger woman, you're about 21, and you're into guys my age. Your technical term, see, you're not a cougar, you're a panther. Doesn't that just sound cool? Yeah, it does, lady. You're a panther, and I'm a silverine fox.
Why does there have to be division on the left? You know what I mean? Like left wing. Do you see the left wing bourgeoisie hanging out with the left wing proles? No. And who gets most of the hot women? The bourgeoisie. The guys with the nice cars and the credit cards. But oh, we're all for Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Where your smart ass, classist fucking lifestyle prevents me from having a girlfriend based on money, everything Bernie Sanders was against. Fuck you. You think that this is the same struggle? You're only getting these girls, these women, because of money. Fuck you. How do I trust someone that's got more money than me, even though we're for Bernie Sanders? You hooking me up with someone? We go into your house to party? No? Then fuck you. Because I'm poor and you're rich. Socialismo. Right. Until the money come knocking. Bullshit. Fuck you. Where are the women at? Hanging out with the money. You're dumbass. You're mean ass. Fuck you. I'm proletariat, you're bourgeoisie, you're basically the Republicans. I don't care if you supported Bernie Sanders. You got more money than me and more women than me. All I want is one, greedy. Maybe you should prove that Generation Z are generous. Okay, so I guess we're going to your house to the party then, right? Let's do this.
Democrats, there is no fundamental difference between us besides the rich and the poor. And then we look at things like, yeah, you know, that's true. We're all like shaking hands around, you know, the party. But then you realize that the chicks flock to the guys with the most money or that are invited. If I'm not invited to your parties, how can I call myself a Democrat? I'm more of a socialist. I'd say I'm an anarcho-communist. I want a leaderless system without money. But I do vote. When I do, I vote Democrat. I don't ever vote Republican. I've even voted Green a few times, just out of a principle, liking Ralph Nader and having gone to his speech at Evergreen State College. And Gore was boring. So I voted for Ralph Nader. But what I'm saying here is when ladies, you're withholding the clit but you're giving it away 2 at a time to so many other Democrats. I'm not really sure what to make of that, Gen Z. I could say that because you're out there partying at the after hours parties after Bistango, who probably make the finest martini in town, because everybody talks about them, but they never talk about that age gap scene of Generation X dudes to Generation Z women. The Volstead Act, same. Tempest Sellers, same. They're looking for these mature dudes that are, and they're tired of them being called old asses and stuff like that. They like mature dudes with money, perhaps. It's an iffy thing, but it's a curious thing. I know the drinks there aren't that expensive, but I've seen the cars they leave in. Democrats, there's not really much division between us, but we're all Generation X, and I too would like to date Generation Z, but I don't even have enough money to get a credit card right now, and it's really none of your business why, except that I have bipolar, and I don't really need an ableist world. If I meet somebody that's got no mental illness, the chance of our children having bipolar will be 10%, which is not very high. It's about the same as for tonsillitis and having your tonsils taken out. I think that might actually be a higher chance. I think the tonsillitis thing might be a much higher chance than 10% chance. But anyway, it's negligible. It's nothing really if you're anti-bigot, because we're Democrats. Age phobia doesn't really seem to play in Spokane. Kind of like it did in Olympia, which is why I came here. It is more open-minded between Generation X men dating Generation Z. That's more of a really open paradigm that I've seen. There's some dick and pussy being passed around here like hotcakes. Like you'll see those ladies another day and they'll be with another older couple of guys, or you'll see the ladies or the guys and they'll be with another couple of ladies. What I'm saying is beautiful. I would like that. I like that scenario quite a bit. I know I did a little bit to stimulate that growth over the past 5 years. It was nice of you to not tell me the bars where you were hooking up at, or give me any kind of feedback on that to where I had to figure out that myself. That was lame. But I now know, so bygones be bygones. If Generation X males and Generation Z women are dating, hooking up, getting married, and having children all over Spokane, especially on the lower Post Street, Bistango, Volstead Act, and Tempest Sellers are more mature areas of Spokane. This is a wonderful thing that people need to advertise about this town, because it would boost a whole bunch of tourism here. I don't know why people don't talk about it more, because if tourists come in, there's going to be more money in Spokane, and maybe they can help the homeless while also beautifying the beautiful park in the middle of town, which is just like miles and miles and miles of park and neat stuff. There's so much like stuff in Spokane that people don't realize is cool about Spokane. I mean, I'm clearly standing in front of some sort of fruit tree. You don't see this kind of thing in Western Washington unless you're like way out in the woods. It's some kind of like, I think it's an apple tree. I'm not sure. I kind of want to eat one. Yeah, it's an apple tree, but they're not fully grown yet. I don't think so. Tastes kind of like apple meets cherry. Might be some sort of exotic crab apple tree. Crab apples aren't too bad. I could see like making a reduction, adding a little more sugar to this, and making a really good pie filling. Oh, Wern dives. No, just playing. This is actually pretty good. I didn't know that piece of that. So they don't advertise enough that there's fruit trees growing everywhere. Their suburbs. I'm in one of their suburbs, and all the suburbs around are just like a lot of people growing their own vegetables and fruits, where you can actually go and pick the vegetables and fruits. They have community gardens over here, for fuck's sake. It's kind of like you had the weather of the South meets more people of color meets Washington State. So, I mean, like, overall, your life is not going to be impacted by the political situation much. You might have to pay a little more for an apartment, but there's low-income housing that's like $200 here that we're just now exploring. So there's like the 200 to 800 range apartments. These houses are pretty big, you know what I mean? Big houses, big houses. These are just neighborhoods all over the freaking Spokane. There's Millwood, Lidgerwood. There's the one I'm in, which is kind of called the Belt neighborhood. It's called Felony Flats, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of felons up here. It looks like there's a bunch of millionaires and multi-thousandaires living around here. I mean, got a lot of trucks up here. You see a lot of like dudes with gray beards riding around like they're farmers or some shit in their cars and trucks, which is just funny to see and worth coming to Spokane for. These guys are players too with women a lot of times. Those beards are like a sex symbol in Spokane, like they aren't in Olympia. I'm serious. Beards are a little more a thing, and I don't like having a beard because it's itchy. It's not going to 100% make you fail if you don't have one, but you don't want to be a guy coming to Spokane complaining about beards, because a lot of people here have beards. You know what I mean? You open your mouth about any kind of beard, any style of beard, I'm sure you're going to be seen as an outcast immediately. That would be something where I'd be going down like this, like, oh my gosh, he just said he hated beards. So don't insult people's beards at all in Spokane. You never really have a reason to, because beards are nice since they grow on you. I know I was getting paid $50 to do videos. The last time I got paid $50, I bought a pizza and a bunch of snacks. If I had more money, I could buy bigger and bigger things. I don't know why you'd want me to buy bigger and bigger things. Why would you pay anybody to do anything? It's just my job, you know what I mean? I will mediate your dispute online for $50 on YouTube. And then I could buy everybody pizza. You know what I'm saying? Generosity. Always about who has the most money. And it's always the fucking Christians. It's the millionaires, the billionaires, the Congress people. Always the fucking Christians. And then when you meet atheists, they just throw you under the bus too when they're Democrats. You're free to be a hypocrite. Never mind what it says in Matthew 6:24 about money and power and greed, and Luke 12:15. You're a Democrat, you just get away with being a hypocrite. Just like the Republicans, because the Christians control the millionaires, the billionaires with the most money, and the Congress people. It's always the fucking Christians. And then you meet the atheists, and the Democrats are just the same as the Republicans. It's only about money and power and greed, and it's disgusting. Fuck you. As an older guy interested in younger males and a libtard, or whatever you want to call me,